You got moldy vegetables. You got decomposing shrimp just sitting out right there.
Defrosting.
And my favorite, there's an actual condom in that vat of soup.
It's a chowder.
I may never eat again.
That's Vince Vaughn in Bad Monkey, a new streaming series based on the book by best-selling author Carl Hiaasen. It's a tale that could only happen in what Hiaasen describes as, quote, a bizarre place called Florida. Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes went there to see for herself.
I wonder how you would describe yourself. Crank, curmudgeon, crusader? Crank, definitely.
Cranky. Maybe not a crank. No, I think when you write satire, which is what I do, satire always comes from a place of anger, a sense of injustice about things. Satire has a target.
The cranky, crusading Carl Hiaasen has channeled that anger into more than 30 books. And now one of his snarkiest satires, his 2013 novel Bad Monkey, has been turned into a series on Apple TV+.
That's all they found?
Nah, man, the head's in the passenger seat.
If you're too grouchy to answer the question, just say I'm too grouchy to answer the question. You have to hit me with the head in the passenger seat.
We caught up with the 71-year-old Hiaasen in the Florida Keys, where Bad Monkey was being filmed. This is pretty amazing for you, isn't it?
You know, it's a little surreal because you're sitting in a room all by yourself and write it, and then alone, and you come here and they've had like 105 people on the set.
One of those 105 is the actor Vince Vaughn,
Why are we this way?
the good guy in Bad Monkey.
Inspector Yancey, I have a few questions.
What time is it?
Just past bathrobe time, so you're still good.
Okay.
You want to come see the set?
I'd love to. I'd love to. Here he plays the main character,
You got a
police
terrific
detective
Yelp score.
Andrew
You're the top beekeeper
Yancey.
from here. The house that from the front
Yeah,
is god-awful, but it's really just a set.
yeah.
But I think everyone's glad it's just pretend and not here forever.
I would call it a Key West egg yolk monstrosity.
Monstrosity, yes. And this is my house, Yancey's house.
Oh, perfect. Just a simple little bungalow, really.
It's been there for quite a while, right?
One theme in all of Hiaasen's writing is New Florida versus Old Florida, development versus nature. Not just bad monkeys,
No! Bad monkey.
but bad neighbors.
There was a dead raccoon in my house.
Yancey lives in a beautiful little home in Big Pine Key, and this mansion is being built next door.
It's blocking his view.
It takes away the sunset, everything.
yeah.
And that's all he lives for.
Broadly speaking, Bad Monkey is based on his own life in Florida.
Everywhere I went as a kid, went hunting and fishing and catching critters and all that stuff, is all paved over. It's all concrete now. But I saw it happening from a very young age, little 6 or 7 years old. And I was pissed off then, and I'm still pissed.
For 45 years, Hiaasen has turned his outrage into newsprint at the Miami Herald as a reporter and a columnist. You often railed against the paving over of Florida. The novel seemed to be an extension of that.
Yeah.
So it's all one piece.
Yeah, but it's all coming out of the same place, I think. It's the same fuel. I think you really have to care about a place to write about it. You have to care if it's going to be good. It's the overwhelming beauty of the place is what makes my characters behave the way they do.
Some of your characters talk about the beauty as if they're in a church or a cathedral.
Very much. For me, that's church. I mean,
It's spiritual.
It is very spiritual, and
Yeah.
you just turn a corner in a mangrove swamp, and all of a sudden, you see a beautiful spoonbill up in the tree or something. That's it. That's when you're reminded, like, we can't screw this up.
Hiaasen worships Florida's flora and fauna, but our own species, not so much. I love the words you use. I love them. So here are just some words I pulled out of your books. Greed heads, whore hoppers, pretty good. Pillhead fugitive felon. He had facial skin like Rice Krispies. Even you're laughing.
Well, I
Even you're
remember that
laughing.
line, yeah. You know, when they come to me is when I'm driving and I have a low threshold of patience as a driver, and I will use them as a salutation to another driver who perhaps...
Hey, you whore hoppers.
Yeah, yeah.
get
That's
that.
when they come into my head. And then I'll say, oh, that's pretty good. Where did I come up with? I'll put that in the book.
See, it's always anger.
Yeah.
Hiaasen writes about a book a year, but Bad Monkey is his first to become a TV show. He's feeling good about it, even though 2 feature films based on his novels, Striptease and Hoot, tanked. Do you understand why those movies didn't really make it?
If I was handed a novel like mine with the subplots, I would have a really hard time adapting.
Yes.
The exciting thing about Bad Monkey is that it's a series. And you can do more backstory. You can do all kinds of things that you can't do in a feature film.
Another thing that's different about Bad Monkey is veteran TV producer Bill Lawrence. So you are the producer of Ted Lasso, the most popular show on television. You could do anything. You could name what you want to do. Why Bad Monkey?
I've been obsessed with Carl Hiaasen and his books since I was a kid.
Hiaasen's super fan, Bill Lawrence, told us that it was insane to do this with a real live animal.
Every time we come to a point that it says, and the monkey hisses or scowls, the monkey just smiles like that, and then usually we'll give you a kiss on the hand, you know, or wink at you, and you're like, you gotta be a bad monkey!
It's not just the monkey that caused a problem on the set.
I see one right now.
You don't. Tiny indigenous key deer, around the size of golden retrievers, kept stealing the crew's food.
Florida's the only place where endangered species line up for Dunkin' Donuts at sunset.
Hiaasen hasn't gone Hollywood. In 2020, he wrote another novel, Squeeze Me, about fat cats and pythons slithering around the grounds of a Palm Beach mansion, suspiciously like Mar-a-Lago. And there's a character, a central villain kind of character in the book, who was a president of the United States.
You think?
Yeah, well,
There's a resemblance?
in the book, yeah, there seems to be a resemblance. And Hiaasen even co-wrote a song last year with his good friend and fishing buddy, the late Jimmy Buffett.
Things got exciting and the fish started fighting and poles were bending. Everybody loves a happy ending.
Whatever genre he's working in, you can always expect a funny ending.
I got a letter one time from a reader who said, I love your books about Florida, and I'm moving there anyway.
It's a museum dedicated to an immortal of the art world. Now on display in Florida, the works of Salvador Dali. Connor Knighton is our guide.
Good evening. Tonight, we go after the story of an extraordinary personality. He's Salvador Dali, the great surrealist painter who sees the world through surrealist eyes.
When Mike Wallace interviewed Salvador Dali in 1958, the painter seemed to believe that he might live forever.
What do you think will happen to you when you die?
Myself no believe in my death.
You will not die?
No believe in general in the death, but in the death of Dali, absolutely no. Not.
Greetings.
Dali did die in 1989, but in a way, he was right.
And I am back.
The artist lives on at the Dali Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida. A collection which chronicles his career through more than 2,400 of his works, from oil paintings to sculptural mashups to fine jewelry. Inside the Dali Dome, a Dali Alive 360 show fully immerses visitors in his art.
Its spirit is based in Dali's. That is, Dali was always trying to do things in new ways. The structure continues.
Hank Hine is the executive director of the museum, devoted to the world's most famous surrealist painter.
The amazing thing about Dali is that his impact is still felt today, not only in art, but in culture generally.
Today, Salvador Dali may be a household name, but his name first belonged to his parents' firstborn son.
His parents named him after his dead brother. That saddled him with a burden of identity that lasted all his life and can explain a lot of his art. For instance, his double images, where you see one thing and you see another. So this Salvador Dali was always wondering, am I myself or am I the other?
Many of Dali's works combine the real and the surreal, a juxtaposition Dali could pull off thanks to his training as a precise classical painter.
He can paint like an old master. However, he wasn't content to stay there.
As program director Kim McQuarrie explains, Dali found inspiration by diving deep into the subconscious.
He was very interested in the writings of the Austrian psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud. And so when he cuts the drawers into the Venus, what he's imagining is, what would happen if we could go up and open the drawers and look inside someone to see what really makes them tick?
As far as ticking goes, Dali's famous painting of melting watches, The Persistence of Memory, is actually at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. But his follow-up is here, hanging in a museum in a state Dali never even visited.
Did Dali have any connection to St. Petersburg, Florida?
He didn't have any connection to St. Petersburg.
What he did have were two very big fans. A wealthy Ohio couple, Eleanor and Reynolds Morse, bought a Dali painting to celebrate their first anniversary, a purchase which kicked off a lifetime of collecting and friendship. They acquired everything from Dali's early Cubist paintings to his later larger religious-themed canvases.
They loved Dali so much that they bought only Dali for 4 decades and were able to put together what is the preeminent collection of Dali in the world.
When the Morse family decided to donate their collection in the late 70s, they were insistent that it all go to one location, but no museum stepped up. After the Wall Street Journal wrote an article, U.S. Art World Dilly-Dallies Over Dali's, the people of St. Petersburg said, well, heck, we'll take it.
The city made an agreement to find a building for them. Not the building we're in now, it was just a marine warehouse.
The Dali Museum opened in 1982. In 2011, it moved to its current location, where the Morse's son Brad now comes to see the paintings that once covered his childhood home.
There was not a square foot or inch even of wall space that wasn't holding a Dali painting.
So this was hanging in your childhood bedroom?
Yes. The headboard was there, and the base of the thing was here, and there was a window.
Now, more than 300,000 visitors a year come to see the fascinating ways in which Dali saw the world.
Dali had a really great quote, and I think it's indicative of how he saw himself and how he saw the world, and that was, I don't do drugs, I am drugs.
I love that.
He thought that seeing as he did would absolutely change your perspective.
Dali was perceived as an eccentric. Especially in his later life, he was known just as much for his wild persona as he was for his art. Here he is in a commercial for chocolate.
Du chocolat l'envers.
But in death, his work has gained greater critical appreciation.
I think the height of his fame is not over. Dali's star is still rising in the world, largely because of what he suggested in his art about the ability to see the world in a different way, something that we really need in this world today.
Let's go fishing, sort of, with Connor Knighton.
The early bird gets the worm. That's why, just before sunrise, Gary Revel is wandering through the woods near Sopchoppy, Florida, to stake out the perfect spot. He pounds a piece of wood, known as a stob, into a promising patch of soil and gets to work. After a few minutes of rubbing the top with a flat piece of iron, earthworms begin to emerge from the earth, where Revel's wife Audrey is waiting to snatch them up. Let me see your haul here.
Yeah.
Oh my
and a
gosh.
can full there.
That's pretty, so is this a good morning so far?
Oh yeah, great morning.
Back at home, they'll clean and process the worms to sell as live bait. Those who buy them to catch fish may never know how their worm was caught.
A lot of people think we dig them up.
Well, honestly, between the two choices, digging sounds a lot more logical than doing some sort of magic trick that summons them to the surface.
Magic's the best.
It's a process known as worm grunting, and this part of Northwest Florida has been a hot spot for more than a century.
Oh, that's what we want. All right.
Here's one right here. Look.
Does it work? Oh, all right. All right. Hey, buddy. Wake up, worms.
For a long time, worm grunting really did feel like magic. Nobody was quite sure why this worked.
We never give it that much thought.
Really?
Yeah, we was always interested in going fishing. We'd hurry up and get the worms. We didn't care what was going on.
Why
there.
it works, you just know it does
work. We
work.
got to get to the water, you know.
In 2008, a Vanderbilt University study finally demonstrated that southeastern Diplocardia earthworms most likely perceive the vibrations to be a worm-eating mole digging toward them. And 99 times out of 100, the escaping worms would be right. But then, every once in a while,
they go, whoa, here comes the big mole.
And instead they come up to the surface and find
That's
you.
That's right, yeah. And they try to get out of the way of me. But some of them do, most of them don't.
Revel grew up worm grunting for fun, then turned pro. While he only works part-time these days, he gets around $20 a bucket. Worm grunting was once a real business around these parts, as our very own Charles Carroll discovered in 1972.
The casual passerby through Sopchoppy, Florida, watching Jim Rozier at his daily occupation, would surely think he'd taken leave of his senses. But no, he's just doing what a lot of people do around Sopchoppy, grunting for worms.
It was possible to work as a full-time worm grunter.
Can people actually make a living at this?
I do.
But not long after Carroll stopped by, soft plastic fishing lures started to lure many people away from using live bait. The local worm industry declined, but by then, Sopchoppy had been given a brand.
Yes, worm grunt time down in old Sopchoppy. Can't sing a song but the melody.
For the past 25 years, Sopchoppy has hosted a worm grunting festival. It's an excuse for the small town to throw a big party, celebrating its favorite invertebrate. There's a wiggle fun run, a gummy worm eating contest, a worm queen is crowned, and children get to give grunting a try.
We gotta bring the true legend out. Mr. Gary, come out here and show them how it's really done. I'll give it up for the legend.
If you can inspire some of them kids to learn that maybe an office job ain't what I need, then not say worming, they might take up something like archaeology or some kind of outside occupation.
Revel, who's 73, has taught his son Snap to grunt, but he knows there's not a new generation of professional grunters coming up.
Me and Aldrin Snaps, one of the last families that does this, the whole process. And when we done, that's it.
But Revel isn't planning on stopping anytime soon. For him, spending time in the woods with the worms is a way of life.
All your worries will go away. And it seems to be fun and the thing to do if you live in the woods.
That doesn't get old for you?
No. No, I got to go out there and see what them worms is up to.
You wake up curious?
Yeah, I ain't going to forget about them, not overnight either.
In the decades after the Civil War, an estimated 100 all-black towns were settled across the United States. Most are long gone. But Martha Teichner visits one of the first and last that's still fighting to hold on.
It's only the telling that makes sense of these old photos of Eatonville, Florida. And the great teller of Eatonville's story was anthropologist and noted writer Zora Neale Hurston, who grew up here.
Joe Clark's store was the heart and spring of the town. Men sat around the store on boxes and benches and passed this world and the next one through their mouths.
Third-generation Eatonville resident N.Y. Nathiri heads the Association to Preserve the Eatonville Community.
Joe Clark is which one? Standing at the left. Joe Clark was the mayor and actually the founder of the town of Eatonville.
In 1887, that it even happened was remarkable. After the end of the Civil War, formerly enslaved African Americans flocked to Central Florida to work. White property owners refused to sell them land until Joe Clark convinced two white Northerners with homes in the area, Lewis Lawrence and Josiah Eaton, to make available plots they could buy in what became Eatonville, one of the first black towns to incorporate.
There was a lot of resistance from the surrounding communities because if they could incorporate, that meant that they could vote, they could have their own law enforcement, they could manage their own business.
Everett Fly is a landscape architect who has spent more than 4 decades researching black towns.
By 1915, there were less than 60 incorporated black towns in the entire United States.
How many of those 60 are left?
I think probably 20, 25 is all that's left. More than 90% of it is about racism. It's everything from, oh, it's not important, or they won't know the difference if we move them out or erase them. No one's going to do anything.
Eatonville today is struggling. The median income here around $27,000 a year. This Family Dollar is the only store. There's no supermarket, no gas station, no pharmacy. So many of the black towns have disappeared. What's different about Eatonville?
What we have the ability to do here is to leverage the genius of Zora Neale Hurston and the authenticity of Eatonville as a cultural and historical space.
Zora tourism exists already.
Just enjoy the Zora Festival.
The Zora Festival, Netheri's preservation group puts on every year, before COVID, regularly attracted over 50,000 people. Fewer now. But Eatonville would like to leverage something else. This land, 100 acres, 10 minutes from downtown Orlando, half an hour from Disney World, valued at more than $20 million in 2019. Certainly worth much more now.
As a small community of 2,500, it's sitting on the largest undeveloped parcel of land in Orange County. It's sitting in a very sweet position geographically.
Netheri's opinion, Eatonville's survival will depend on who wins the fight over this land, which is as closely tied to its past as it is to its future. The trouble is, the town doesn't own it, and never has.
This is an insult. This is an insult. No trespassing, keep out.
Once, it was part of a 300-acre campus that occupied about 40% of Eatonville. The land was donated by philanthropists to a trust which operated the Robert Hungerford Normal and Industrial School, a private boarding school established in 1899 to provide vocational education to black students in the segregated South.
This is when I was in high school. I was voted May Day Queen.
By the time Vera King went there, it was a black public school. This looks like one of the original boarding school buildings.
It is. We had classes in that building.
In 1951, the Orange County School Board bought Hungerford from the trust that owned it. For a little over $16,000, the school board got all 300 acres, but with this important restriction. The land still had to be used for the education of black children.
This is me at Hungerford.
For 30 years, Vera King worked at the high school that was built on the site. Now it's gone too, along with 200 of those 300 acres.
If we aren't careful, Eatonville is going to be extinct.
King, 85 years old, an Eatonville native, resents what happened when the Orange County Public Schools started selling off parcel after parcel of the Hungerford property, getting the courts and the trustees again and again to cut the number of acres required to be used for educating black kids. So now it's 0.
They really profited from it, from those sales.
The Orange County school system was paid nearly $8 million in those deals.
You have hashtag land back on your sleeve.
Yes. Nobody has made enough noise, and nobody has demanded the land back.
Julian Johnson isn't the only Eatonville resident who thinks the Orange County Public Schools ought to just give the land to Eatonville as a kind of restitution.
This is economic justice that we're fighting for. Land is economic justice. It's about demanding it back. You've done the people wrong over and over.
So, with those last 100 acres set to be sold on March 31st to a developer for $14 million, well below their last appraised value,
I'm from Eatonville.
Johnson helped to mobilize for a showdown.
The streets are talking, the people are talking, and the people are angry and furious.
The only control Eatonville has over what gets built is through its zoning and planning. Last month, the town council met to vote on changes that would clear the way for this, a new community of more than 350 homes and apartments.
Once the project is built out, it'll offer shopping, dining, entertainment options for residents and visitors to partake and enjoy.
The packed room didn't see it that way.
Quite simply, this development will erase this living, thriving historical community.
For y'all to come and put all this stuff up here and think we as black people gonna be able to stay here, shame on yourself.
We're gonna be outnumbered, and I want you guys to vote no.
They did. But the developer can still buy the site and build, so long as it's something consistent with Eatonville's vision for the town's survival. In a statement to Sunday Morning, the Orange County Public School System reaffirmed its commitment to go ahead with the sale. No word yet from the developer. For Eatonville residents, a lawsuit may be next. A last stand in a losing war? Not if they can help it.
This is sacred land. It's special for us. It's who we are. And we're not going to let them take it away from us. No.
Time to play ball with Steve Hartman.
Watching 8-year-old Chloe Grimes talking smack, hitting liners, and throwing heat. You'd never guess she's also fighting cancer and has been off and on since the age of 2. The girl has grit.
Yeah.
Which is why the Tampa Bay Rays recently invited Chloe to toss out a first pitch.
All right.
She threw it to a player named Brett Phillips, who now believes this moment wasn't so much ceremonial as it was serendipitous.
Good to see you. What a story, right? You can't not think that there's just some, divine intervention.
Yeah.
Brett Phillips, number 35, is Chloe's favorite player, even though he's not exactly an all-star.
He's not the best hitter,
I know, but he's so nice.
What's up, guys?
She's got that right. This is a player who comes out 20 minutes before every game to talk with kids.
How you doing, man?
Almost to the point of parenting.
How are those grades?
He'll make time for people, even in the middle of a play. I've never seen a professional athlete so devoid of bravado, especially on the day Chloe walked into his life.
I had the chance to meet Chloe for the first time, and she's battling cancer, and she brought me these gifts. She wrote my name on a softball, and holy cow.
Among those gifts,
I'm gonna wear it tonight, all right?
a bracelet.
It's gonna bring me good luck, huh?
And sure enough, that night, not just a home run.
It was the hardest ball I've hit in my major league career.
If not for the roof, it might have left the building. Needless to say, Brett won't be taking off that bracelet anytime soon. Although Chloe insists that she got the better gift.
He gave me spirit. To, like, beat the butt out of cancer.
And to Brett Phillips, that smile is what baseball is all about.
I've been blessed with a platform to spread joy and love on a daily basis.
What are you doing?
Just recently, Brett surprised Chloe at her house, cemented their friendship, and earned himself the greatest title in professional sports, most valuable presence in a child's life.
How was school?
Good.
So you know how you brought me a bunch of gifts?
Steve Hartman has a story guaranteed to melt even the coldest heart.
It all started here at South Shore Charter Academy outside Tampa, when teacher Robin Hughes opened a book about snow.
It's cold.
And got a frosty reception.
They just had this perplexed look on their face. Then that's when I asked the question, how many of you all have never seen snow before?
Hands shot up.
A lot of you.
In classroom after classroom.
Yeah, never seen snow.
I saw it on a TV show, like Ice Age. It had snow. I'm like, what is snow, people?
Clearly, Robin had tapped into a desperate yearning that she wanted to satisfy.
Good.
Unfortunately, it hasn't snowed in Central Florida in 45 years.
Still, Robin wasn't about to let a little thing like meteorology get in her way. So she reached out to her sister in Kentucky and went full out Frozen.
She asked me if I want to build a snowman.
Amber Estes begrudgingly agreed to ship her sister this snowman.
And I said, if he makes it to Tampa, his name is going to be Lucky.
He made it.
Meet Lucky.
I was so excited when I opened the box. I mean, I could not wait to go in the classroom with them.
So, for more than a month now, Lucky has been leaving the cafeteria freezer, ever so briefly, to grant these poor snow-deprived children their first ever opportunity
Make us happy.
to see, feel, and gush over the mini miracle that is a snowman.
And as a teacher, that's what you want. You just want that joy.
It's like the first time I ever saw a snowman. And I was like, first time I met Lucky, I said he's handsome like a boy. Yes.
Perhaps no one is more smitten than 5-year-old Momo.
I love him. I knew I would kiss him. I knew it.
Is that the first boy you wanted to kiss?
Yes. And the second boy I'm going to kiss
You
my
don't
dad.
have to. Okay, good. All right.
Bubbling joy, wide-eyed wonder. Only a teacher could take a pile of snow, sticks, and a vegetable and somehow melt your heart.
Steve Hartman has a story that's tailored to perfection.
It was just another day at Causeway Alterations in Dunedin, Florida, when out of the blue, this elderly man walked in and asked if someone could make him a Navy uniform.
Why does a 97-year-old need a Navy uniform?
I love the uniform. I love my country, and I'm so happy I was able to serve.
This you?
It's me, yeah.
Joe Hall served in World War II as a Navy petty officer, first class.
Is that your ship?
Yeah.
He was on a destroyer escort, where he made some of the best friends of his life and lost a few too. They're all gone now, which is why Joe wanted that uniform, for when he sees them again. Susan Williams is the seamstress who waited on him.
I've made everything from underwear to wedding dresses. But to have a World War II veteran come in and say, I want to be buried in my uniform. It was like, this man is not leaving this store without me making this uniform because it's the most important thing I'll ever do in my life. And it became a strong obsession of mine to make it right.
For the next 3 weeks, Susan poured herself into this project, binding every seam, satin-lined cuffs, buttonholes by hand. She spent at least 100 hours.
I love this.
And charged almost nothing.
Oh, beautiful.
Joe actually got his uniform a few months ago, but came back in to try it on again at our request. He hardly seemed bothered.
I feel like I'm back in the service.
In fact, even though he wanted this for his death, you get the sense that now it's what he lives for.
Look at that. Can't beat it, right?
Right.
I wanted to be with my friends, be part of them. And this uniform kind of brings them close to me, you know.
They say the suit makes the man, But not in this case. Joe Hall was a loyal friend 7 decades before he got these dress blues. He just needed someone to sew his heart to his sleeve for that long-awaited
It's wonderful.
reunion.
You've done a wonderful job.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you.
It's not exactly about fathers, but we think Steve Hartman's story is just perfect for Father's Day. Judge for yourself.
For 14-year-old Caleb Pruitt of Jacksonville, Florida, who has Down syndrome, exercising anything other than his thumbs was never a passion. He could barely cross a pool, couldn't ride a bike without help, and saw the treadmill as little more than a novelty. Karen is his mom.
So triathlon wasn't on your list of things for Caleb to do?
It was not on our list, no.
At least, not until Caleb met 21-year-old Chris Nikich.
Did you like him when you met him?
Yes, I did.
What did you like about him?
Super cool.
Super cool, he said. And you can see why. Last year, Chris competed in that grueling 140-mile swimming, biking, and running race known as the Ironman. The first person with Down syndrome to ever cross the finish line.
If there was a poster with Chris on it, it would be in Caleb's room.
But what Chris did next was even more Herculean. He took this young fan under his wing, became a mentor, worked out with him, and planted a dream.
Just the fact that he was so warm and inspiring helped Caleb realize that these are things that I could do too.
Can and did.
Go, Caleb!
Last weekend, Caleb finished his first mini triathlon. He is believed to be the youngest person with Down syndrome to ever do so.
I've been selected.
He also received an invitation to compete on Florida's Special Olympics triathlon team. The same team Chris is on.
Do you want to be like Chris?
Yes.
You know what?
What?
I think you are like Chris.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes!
Is that like the best compliment you've ever received?
Oh, yes.
Heroes come in many different shapes, sizes, and abilities, but they all have the same superpower: to lift the hopes of others.
Many a dog is having his or her day thanks to a special bond with the big-hearted boy Steve Hartman has been watching in action.
8-year-old Robbie Gay loves an underdog. Bring him to the Flagler County Humane Society in Palm Coast, Florida, as we did, and ask him to find a favorite.
Can I get in here?
He will seek out the oldest, mangiest, least adoptable mutt of the lot.
There's something about old dogs, but I just like.
Do you see yourself in these dogs?
Yes, sir.
He knows what it feels like not to be loved and cared for. He's the most hopeful, optimistic, and genuinely caring kid who has absolutely no reason to be that way.
Robbie's adoptive mom, Maria, says before he entered the foster system, Robbie was a holy terror. So badly abused, he was twice hospitalized with brain injuries. Then, 2 years ago, Maria and her husband Charles adopted him.
It was just a good day.
What did that day mean to you?
Everything.
He has come a long way, except in this one respect. Maria says he could not cry, despite the horrors of his past, or maybe because of them. The kid was a stone. Until earlier this month.
One of Robbie's old dogs, Buffy, had to be put down. He wanted to hold her till the very end and insisted his mom take pictures of the process. Perhaps because he knew what was about to happen. After Robbie finally let go, he told his mom, "I know how it feels not to be loved or cared for, and I don't want any animal of mine to feel that way." Nor does he want any foster kid to feel that way.
Because people don't want older people and older dogs. They only want babies and puppies.
He is so aware that it could have gone totally differently for him. And in these older dogs, Robbie's found a place to practice compassion.
Someday, Robbie wants to adopt older foster children himself.
You can go up and knock on the door.
But until then, to show his commitment and do what he can, he has vowed to adopt as many old dogs as his parents will allow.
Do you love her?
Today, it's a lame, snaggletooth Shih Tzu named Molly. Molly's owner had to go into assisted living, but now Molly has a new home, thanks to the sweet little boy who sees his reflection in the eyes of the suffering.
A slice of pie is a lot more than just a baked blend of crust and filling. It can actually provide a real slice of life. Our Connor Knighton takes a bite, several, in fact.
All I can think about is pie.
This is where diets go to die.
Blueberry pie, pecan pie.
A room where there is always room for dessert.
Don't forget chocolate silk with a glass of milk.
It's the 2017 National Pie Championships.
Let's hear it for the American pie!
This high-stakes, high-calorie competition, held in Orlando, Florida, is as American as apple pie. And this year, this woman made the best apple pie in America.
From Belleville, Wisconsin, Beth Campbell.
I first met Beth Campbell in her kitchen.
Oh, what's that one? That's the caramel crunch? Caramel pear crunch.
As she was testing out this year's recipes on her friends and family.
If you like key lime, you should have key lime.
Yep.
If you like Butterfinger, you should have Butterfinger.
Yep.
If you like pears, you should have pear.
Maybe I should try all of them?
You
I think I should try all of them.
Yeah.
Beth entered pies in 10 different categories this year. She's racked up so many ribbons over the decades, she's lost track.
Last year you got a second and a third. The year before that you got two firsts and a second, and the year before that you got two firsts and a third.
I don't remember.
Are they all cut?
Her husband Charlie is her biggest fan. And after years of assisting in the kitchen, he started entering some of his own pies. But the one year he took home a ribbon, the drive home didn't go as well.
He won.
Things happen.
And all the way home, he kept driving along. I don't know why you didn't win. I didn't even try with that pie, and I won, and you didn't. I wanted to push him out in the foothills of the Carolinas.
That's right, the Campbells drive the 22 hours to Florida. It's their only vacation. Each year, they load up the van,
Spices, the coloring.
they meticulously pack up the kitchen,
Good plan.
and stuff their coolers with ingredients they're convinced are just better in Wisconsin.
Cream, we got the cream.
They head south, unload it all at a rental house,
Oh, yeah.
and spend days baking their way around a new kitchen, which is no cakewalk. Competitor Devin Davis enjoys a bit of a home oven advantage. He grew up just 30 miles away from the competition.
I've been cooking since I was 5 years old, probably. My mom was a nervous wreck. She hated me being in the kitchen.
Devin entered his first national pie contest when he was just 14. He won the grand prize. And now, at 21, he competes against the pros.
So much fun because pies are simple in concept, but there's so many things you can do with it. You can make them complex.
Devin's family is happy to serve as taste testers.
Oh, yeah, we need to score. Yeah, that's a good idea. Y'all should score. Write it on your napkin.
But just because something works around the kitchen table.
So what do we think? How many first place pies are we looking at here?
7, probably.
7? Come on. One's got to fail, right? 7 out of 7. All right.
It doesn't mean it's going to work at the judging table.
Front porch lemon truffle blueberry pie.
Bite after bite, slice after slice, these palates alone determine the sweet taste of victory.
Italian cream blueberry.
What are you judging for? What are the categories?
The taste, the mouthfeel. How does it feel?
What's mouthfeel?
Is it too mushy? Are the berries overcooked? How's the crust? Is it soggy? Is it firm?
Devin picked up an honorable mention for his chocolate pie. But unless you're a Best in Show winner like Andy Hilton, there's not a lot of money at stake here. Nobody's entering pie contests for the dough.
Pie is awesome, pie is just the best.
It's all about the camaraderie, the silly apron contest, the chance to hang out with people as devoted to dessert as you are.
You know, it's just fun to get together with them and see people and see ideas of what other people came up with. And if you win, that's just frosting on the cake.
Perhaps.
Or sugar on the pie.
There we go. There we go.
That's right.
Everybody loves pie.
Thank you, Pie fans.